What? You have no right to throw me out of here.
You have no legal right to be here, Nancy.
Well, you're being ridiculous. You know Charles would never stand for this.
This property is legally mine also. I can do with it what I please.
Yeah, but you're not being reasonable. I mean, where am I going to go? What am I going to do?
That is hardly my concern.
Well, Miriam, look at, you know what I'm talking about. Make her understand.
She understands everything, Nancy. That's why we're here.
I'm surprised at you, of all people. I mean, I thought you were a Christian. I thought you would forgive and forget and turn the other cheek.
Nancy, I hope someday I can forgive you, but that doesn't change the way I feel about getting you out of Daddy's house and out of his life.
Look, I know how Charles thinks about this.
It hardly matters how Charles thinks. This is legally my property, and you are trespassing. I am prepared to take any steps that are possible to get you removed from the premises.
I don't understand why you're doing this to me anyway.
You have manipulated my husband. You nearly killed my daughter.
What? Is that what she told you? Well, that's not true. You should have seen her. I mean, she was like a crazy person wandering the streets. I'm the one that saved her. I'm the one that got her to a doctor.
You're the one who tried to have her committed, isn't that it?
Well, because she needed help, which she still does.
Oh, you have just tried to get rid of her. You used her, just the same way as you used my husband. Now, I will not tolerate your presence in this house for one more minute.
Well, you're gonna have to throw me out.
Gladly.
Good, I'd like to see you try it.
You don't seem to realize the consequences of your actions. I can very easily have you thrown into jail, and you will not have your sister to bail you out this time.
That's right. Since then, we've all learned our lesson. Well, almost all of us.
Neither, you wouldn't believe the size of the stone she wore. Personally, I thought it was a bit much for an outdoor barbecue, but you
This
know
is where you
nothing
separate the
more
men from the boys, Johnson.
You should have killed her the first time.
Look, there's no problem. I delivered the flowers. We know where she lives.
Yeah, what kind were they?
What?
The flowers.
They're pink carnations. What else?
Good. She'll know they're from us.
Well, she should if she's got any brains left. She spilled most of them out on the street the day I tried to kill her.
If you'd have taken care of her then, we wouldn't have these complications now.
What complications, Mr. Washington? I told you I'd kill her. There's no problem.
No.
No?
That's right. I want her alive this time.
Well, what do you want to fool around with that broad for anyway? She's got nothing on you.
She's got plenty on me, you imbecile. Why do you think she hasn't left town?
Well, because she's probably...
We've sent her threatening phone calls where she works.
Yeah?
You tried to kill her once and blew it.
So I won't this time.
And now she's got our flowers delivered where she lives. She knows we know where she's staying. She knows it's just a matter of time before we do her in.
Exactly, so let's move.
But she doesn't run. Why? Because she's got some kind of a trump card on us, that's why. She knows no hookers ever left my stable and lived. And she's still hanging around. There's got to be a reason for that. That's why we're not going to kill her. Till I do a little interrogating first. So I want you and Blue to bring her back to me. Do I make myself clear?
Sure, sure. Only, what if this time that, now that she knows that we know where she's hibernating, she splits?
I wouldn't bet on it. The lady's got ideas, I'm telling you. It was always Bab's problem. Too smart for her own good.
Then let me do my thing.
Not until I find out what she knows and who she's talked to.
Look, if she had anything on us, you'd have made her move by now.
Maybe. Maybe not. In any case, we can't take that chance. She could blow the top right off our whole operation. And if the wrong party finds out, we're as good as dead.
You mean the prince?
Yeah, I mean the prince.
Miss Lawson, I want you out.
I have to call my attorney.
Oh, don't bother. It'll be a waste of money.
Oh, well, how sweet of you to be so concerned.
Since it happens to be my husband's money, I have reason to be concerned.
Your husband's money?
Well, hasn't he been your sole support for the past few months?
My financial situation is none of your concern.
Well, go ahead. Consult your attorney. Any first-year law student will tell you that you don't have a leg to stand on legally.
Well, you seem awfully sure of yourself.
I have reason to be. I happen to be right.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Then you will not go of your own volition?
I'm just saying, can we please be reasonable about this?
Your definition of reasonable and mine seem to be very different.
Well, I need more time. I have to find somewhere to stay. I have to get, movers and pack everything.
Yes, how much time do you need?
Well, a week or two at least.
A week or two?
You must be joking.
Well, these things take time.
You certainly have a lot of gall.
Well, put yourself in my shoes. I mean, what would you do? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go?
I can think of one very appropriate place.
Oh, very funny.
You want more time? All right, I'll give you time. I'll give you until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And by that time, if you do not have yourself and your possessions out of my house, I shall tell my attorney to begin eviction proceedings. Now, we have already notified Sergeant Brubaker of the Kingsley Police of our intentions.
Not him.
Yes, him.
10 o'clock tomorrow morning? I mean, are you ridiculous? There's no way I can get out of here by then. Miriam, please, will you talk to her? Make her understand.
Under these circumstances, I think Mother is being more than generous.
But tomorrow morning? Oh,
Nancy, how long does it take you to get up and walk out that door? I think that's more than enough time.
you real sweethearts, aren't you both?
You have already had more than enough time. You should have been out of this house months ago.
There is no way I can get out of this house by tomorrow.
I beg to differ, Mrs. Lawson. You will be out of my house by tomorrow morning, or the police will carry you out, by force if necessary.
Either way, this is the last night you'll ever spend under this roof.
If she got to the prince, then we've really got trouble.
Well, you told me yourself she doesn't even know who he is.
Nobody knows who he is, except a few of us. Maybe that's why she's been hanging around. She's trying to get a lead on him to get back at me.
How?
Who knows?
Well, suppose she did get through to him. So what? What makes you think he's going to take her word over ours? You didn't let her get too close, did you?
Of course not.
Well, then what are you worrying about? Just another broad shooting off her trap.
I've still got to talk to her. I've got to find out what she knows.
I knew it. You did let her get too close, didn't you?
Maybe I did.
No, she always was your girl. Wasn't
All
she?
of them are my girls.
Well, just remember that Babs Farley's not one of the girls I recruited. They're the ones I bring in. They don't cause hassle.
Yeah, well, they will. If they get the idea they can just walk away from here and walk off the job like Babs did.
Hey, everybody knows what happens to Babs. I made sure of that.
Now, come on. A couple of scratches, a few bruises. You blew it.
Come on, man. She was practically dead by the time she got
Yeah,
to the
well,
hospital.
practically don't get it. Not in my book.
Okay, so she got lucky.
She's had weeks and weeks to talk. Maybe to that lawyer she's been working for. Or worse yet, maybe she got a lead to the prince.
That's a riot, man.
Yeah? What's so funny? What are you laughing at?
No, Babs Farley trying to go straight, working as a secretary. That's a riot.
You better stop your laughing, pretty boy. And you better bring her back to me.
Look, I delivered the flowers to her, didn't I?
How many times are you going to tell me that, huh? What do you think you are, some kind of genius? You think you're really hot stuff, don't you? Sweet talking that nurse into telling you where Babs is staying. Well, let me tell you what I think. I think any fool with the IQ of a brick could have tracked Babs down in half the time you did.
Yeah, well, if you think it's so easy, how come you didn't take care of it yourself?
Because I pay you to take care of such matters. And I don't want my girls getting any ideas, you understand? I don't want them thinking they can just walk away from here. I want them to be in so deep they can't ever get out.
All right, want to make an example of Babs? I'd be glad to slice her up into little pieces and let everybody take a long, hard look.
Look, Lance, it's your job to keep the girls in line. I don't care how you do it. That's your problem. Not mine.
Oh, thanks for the lunch.
Always my pleasure to treat a pretty lady.
Hey, you mean that?
Sure.
I mean the part about being a lady. Well, I've been taking some pointers from Miriam, you know, and she does everything just so.
Yeah. She the one that taught you how to eat your taco with a knife and fork? The latest in etiquette, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah? Well, it's better than some people I know who stuff the whole thing in their mouth.
Well, I was hungry.
It's no excuse.
Well, my apologies to Emily Post.
Hey, isn't it neat about Miriam and her mom getting back together again?
Yeah. I just wonder how long Helen's going to hang around now.
You don't think she's going to stay?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm glad that Charles isn't going to marry Nancy and that Helen showed up to stop that, but I don't know. Now that she's stopped Nancy from getting a hold of her estate, I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't head right on back to Canada again.
Oh, gee, Miriam wanted to patch things up so much with her.
I know, but I think they've already done that to a degree. You know, Charles put Helen through some Lulus. I just don't think that, I don't think she wants to hang around and fall back under Charles' thumb again, that's all.
Oh, it's funny, you know, Miriam's been praying for her mother to show up, and presto, she does, just like that. I mean, I wonder if there's something to this praying business after all.
You ever want to see your mama again?
Oh, no way. I mean, I wouldn't know her if I ran smack into her in the street. And she wouldn't know me either, you can bet on that. Not unless I was wearing pigtails. It's been some time. Anyway, haven't you got something for me to do this afternoon? You know, some typing or something?
Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, you can retype all these.
All this, huh?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Picky, picky, picky. Hey, wait a minute, Toots. Where do you think you're going?
I have to see Harold.
Well, sorry, sweetie. You don't have an appointment. Why don't you call back next month?
Would you get her out of here, please?
It's okay, Barbara. I'll speak with her.
Well, if you need any help throwing her out of here, just call me.
Oh, Nancy, what can I do for you?
It's not for me. It's about Charles.
Oh.
Yeah, well, his ex-wife has come back.
She's not his ex-wife yet.
Well, whatever she is. Charles is in the hospital lying on death's door. And this woman comes barging in and she wants to take over his house. Do you know she even asked me to leave? And you know that Charles would never stand for that. Well, don't just keep shaking your head like that. You're his attorney. You got to represent him.
Nancy, as long as she legally remains Miss Charles Carpenter, she has as much right to that house as he does. She can do anything with it she wants to.
Yeah, but
I hate to tell you this, Nancy, but you don't have a leg to stand on. Legally speaking, that is.
Daddy? Daddy, you awake? It's Mother and I.
Yes. Ma'am, come in.
Dr. Greeley said that you might be resting. We didn't want to bother you.
What else can I do but rest? Hooked up to all these gadgets.
Charles, the doctor says you're doing much better than expected.
That's right. You're just going to be your old self again in no time.
I don't know, ma'am. I wonder if I'm gonna be the same.
Oh, don't be silly. Everything's going to be all right. I know it is.
Well, something like this changes the way you look at things. You know how I feel.
Yeah, I guess I do.
You had a pretty close call yourself a few months back.
Well, maybe the Lord was trying to tell me something. Maybe you too?
What a way to go about it. Pretty painful lesson to try and teach somebody.
Well, Daddy, you had been under an awful lot of stress lately.
Yes, but we did it. We opened Hollister Mall. I'm gonna make a fortune. You'll never have to worry about anything.
Daddy, I don't have to worry about anything now either. I'm doing just fine on my salary.
Nonsense. Living in that ghetto.
Daddy, I'm happier than I ever have been. And okay, wait. Look, let's not talk about money or business. That's what the doctor said, remember?
Doctors. What do they expect me to talk about? The weather?
Well, there is more to life. That's one of the big things the Lord has showed me.
Yes, I know all about that.
You don't sound very convinced.
Well, maybe I'm not ready to learn my lesson yet.
You will. You will. Don't worry.
Charles, I'm really very happy to have seen you getting along so well.
Mother, you're not leaving, are you?
If you'll excuse me.
If that's the way you want it.
I'll wait for you outside.
There's got to be something you can do.
Afraid not.
But Harold, you're his attorney. You're supposed to be representing him. I mean, you can't just let this woman just walk in and take over his house. I mean, she's asking me to leave now.
You know, Nancy, I know this is a concept you've always found hard to accept, but the law's the law. Helen has a right to that house. You don't.
But Harold, she's his wife in name only.
Under the law, that's all that matters.
I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
Nancy, there's not a thing you can do. In fact, you ought to just pack up and get out while the getting's good.
No way. I'm not doing that.
Well, don't come crying to me to get you out of jail then. I warn you.
But it's not fair, Harold. I mean, I was due to marry him in 2 days' time. I would have been Mrs. Charles Carpenter
The
myself.
law doesn't recognize what might have been.
What if I got some paper that said that Charles would let me stay in the house? Then you could work something, couldn't you?
Well, sure, I could work up something, but it wouldn't do you any good.
Why not?
Well, in the first place, you need his signature.
Well, I could get that. He would sign it in a minute.
Charles isn't allowed to have any visitors except his relatives. You can't get anywhere near him.
Well, I don't care about that. I don't care about any stupid doctor. I'm going to sell this thing if it kills me.
Or him.
What?
Why don't you just leave him alone, Nancy?
Look, Harold, as soon as Charles gets out of that hospital, he's going to hear about how you let him down in his time of need.
Oh, Nancy, don't pull that melodramatic garbage on me. Save that for the judge.
Judging from the look on her face, I'd say it's good news for us. What happened?
This calls for a celebration.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, haven't we got any glasses besides this one?
Well, here, use a coffee cup.
Yeah, that'll do fine.
Just don't tell Ione I'm having a snort, because she'd probably kick me out of the house.
I promise. Here you go.
Well, are you going to tell me what happened, or aren't you?
To Nancy's downfall.
Oh, I'll drink to that.
With any luck, by this time tomorrow, Nancy Lawson will be out on the street.
Take it from me, honey. She'll fit right in.
Cheers.
Daddy, there's something I'd like to ask you.
Well,
It's about Nancy.
what about her?
Well, Daddy, you haven't asked anything about her.
I haven't even thought about her.
You haven't?
Is that so surprising?
Daddy, now, I don't want to upset you or anything, but there was a photographer taking pictures when you had the heart attack.
Well, what's so surprising? The press had to cover the opening, didn't they?
Right. Well, if look, right here on the front page of the Chronicle, it's Nancy standing up, right there out of a wheelchair.
Well, I'll be.
Well, see, it happened right after you fell down. You remember, I kept telling you that she was a fake, and all along she has been.
I figured as much. Honestly, Mem, I was skeptical when you first told me because...
Well, because the way I was before?
Well, yes. And the pressure of opening them all, and Nancy can be pretty persuasive. But I started to smell a rat a long time ago. And I've just been waiting to nail her with something. And now, I've got that.
Daddy, you sound as if you weren't even planning on going through with the marriage.
Truthfully, Mem, I wasn't. And I'd give anything to get her out of my life. Completely.
Dr. Matthews to X-ray. Dr. Matthews to X-ray.
Mother, there's something I want you to understand. I'm not Daddy's little girl anymore, and I don't ever want you to think that you're coming between Daddy and me.
I'm afraid I did think that for a minute.
Then is that why you left?
Oh, that, plus... Suddenly I was flooded with so many memories, bad memories of your father and me. I just had to get out.
But we've changed, all of us have.
Darling, it's you who changed. It's so obvious and so beautiful to observe. And I've changed too. I'm finding my new identity. I found a new life. And I just can't give it up to come back here.
What do you mean by that?
We'll discuss it later. What else did you say to your father?
Well, I showed him that photograph.
Of Nancy?
Right.
How did he
right.
take it?
Well, apparently he hasn't been as much of a fool about her as we thought.
Oh?
Right, because he had guessed that she was faking all along.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. It seems he wants her out of his life just as much as we do.